So good afternoon and welcome to our webinar, Railway Infrastructure in Portugal, with a focus in high-speed investments. We are truly delighted to have you with us today. I see that there are still people coming, so I will invite them to come already. So we have participants from a wide range of sectors, industry professionals and technology providers that are coming, infrastructure specialists, and the finance sector here. So we will believe that today's session will offer valuable insights for the most and foster meaningful contacts regarding the rail sector in Portugal. So over the next hour, I will have to accept more people. Over the next hour, we will be hearing about high-speed rail projects in Portugal. Our guests will give us an overview about them. For more information and interaction with our guests, we invite you to participate in the Q&A session. At the end, some next steps and farewell. So before we begin, let me go over a few housekeeping rules to ensure everything runs smoothly. I would ask please that the participant should have the camera turned off, please. All participants, as I said, are currently with camera off and sound muted to minimize background noise, so please keep it up. We encourage you also to use the Q&A function immediately. You'll find it at your screen. We'll gather your questions and address them during the dedicated Q&A session at the end. The webinar is being recorded also, and the registered participant will receive the video link and the presentation later. So today's webinar will focus on the investment projects of the high-speed railway sector in Portugal, as mentioned. So 3 major projects are scheduled to be concessioned under public-private partnership: Lisbon or Porto Vigo in Spain, and Lisbon Madrid. The first concession of the Lisbon-Porto project has already been awarded to Avan, which we are privileged to have here with us in the person of its CEO, Eduardo Pimentel, and its COO, Álvaro Fonseca. So these 2 outstanding professionals have significantly shaped the railway and infrastructure sectors, both in Portugal and internationally. They will bring years of hands-on experience and strategic vision to today's topic. So Eduardo Pimentel is a senior executive at Mota-Engil, the Portugal's leading construction engineering company, with operations spanning multiple continents. Today heads Avan as CEO. With more than 25 years of experience, Eduardo has led major international infrastructure projects, many in the rail sector. Álvaro Fonseca is a seasoned leader in the transport and infrastructure sector with over 20 years of experience in delivering large-scale mobility projects. As CEO at Avan, he has played a central role in developing and implementing high-impact railway initiatives across Europe. So without further delay, let's dive into today's presentation. I ask to Eduardo and Álvaro to join us now. Thank you, Eduardo. We'll wait for Álvaro. And thank you again. We are looking forward to a great session ahead. So let's begin.
Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much, João, and thank you for inviting us for this opportunity. I will just make a brief presentation for myself. So my name is Eduardo Pimentel. I have a background as civil engineer. I work in Motengil Group for 33 years. I started as a site and project manager engineer. Then I was responsible for the technical supporting areas for the group for many years, like planning and cost control, procurement, safety, IT, HR, design and processes. Then I changed a little bit of businesses, and between 2007 and 2017, I was the CEO for our environment and services areas, where we had concessions in the port operations, waste management businesses, water concessions, and also facilities management companies. Then, after 2017, I was nominated CEO for our African operations, where I was until 2024. Last year. As a matter of fact, I had the opportunity to be in Vienna 1.5 years ago, something like that, for your African Day. I was there as a CEO. I was very pleased to be there. And now, actually, since the beginning of the year, so I'm the CEO for Avan, as João told you. Álvaro, may you jump to the next slide, please? I will just make a very brief presentation of Motengil. Some of you may know the company, others may not, so it's just 2 slides very fast. So the Motengil is a public trade company, and primarily we are in the construction and civil engineering sector. We have several activities, namely, of course, construction, concessions, road concessions, train concessions, environmental concessions, and other related companies. We are a kind of, let's say, infrastructure manager, and we have a long story of success on these kind of businesses worldwide, like airports, bridges, dams, stadiums, rail infrastructure projects, and our key shareholders are the Motengil family with around 40%. We also have a participation of 30% from CCCC, is a Chinese construction company, and the other 30% is free flow on the stock market. Our key highlights, so we have a backlog of 15.6 billion euros. Last year in 2024, we did 6.9 billion euros turnover with an EBITDA of 955 millions and a net profit of 123 millions. Some of our main projects, so in picture number 1, you can have the Tuxpan Tampico concession in Mexico that we build, finance, and operate. Number 2 is Douro Interior, also a road concession that we did the same. Design, finance, construction, and operate. Number 3, it's not a concession, but it's a corridor, Nacala corridor. It connects Moatize in the north of Mozambique to Nacala. It's a port in Mozambique and crosses Malawi, and we did the section in Malawi. It's a train corridor for transporting coal. For Val do Rio Doce was the concessionaire for the coal mine, for the port, and for the rail transport, and we built it for them. Then we built one of the largest bridges in Portugal. It's also a concession, Lissabon. It's the Vasco da Gama Bridge. The picture number 5 is a railway project in Nigeria that connects Kano to Maradi. It's actually being constructed. It's more or less half-half. Number 5, it's also the Tren Maya project, which was a huge project around the peninsula of Yucatan in Mexico. And we finished beginning of 2025. This the Guadalajara light rail. So, Álvaro, can you please jump to the next slide? Álvaro, okay, thank you. So, just a brief, we have presence in 3 continents, 21 countries. I'm not going to name them all, you have them there. We are the number 71 in the world construction powers. We have number 14 in Europe, number 2 in Latin America, and number 8 in Africa. Can you jump to the next slide and let's start with our project? Okay, so as João told you, these high-speed projects in Portugal, basically we have 3 big projects, let's say. The one in blue that connects Porto to Lisbon, and it's the one we are going to talk about. It's the one that first PPP has already been awarded, and we have a planned construction from 2025 to 2032, and it will connect in 1 hour and 15 Porto to Lisboa. Lisboa is the capital of Portugal. Porto is the second city. And today you do it in, let's say, 3 hours by train or by car. So it will connect much more quickly those 2 main cities in Portugal. Then we have the line Porto-Vigo. Vigo, it's a city in the north of Spain, in Galicia. And it's planned to do this between 2028 and 2032. And it will connect Porto to Vigo in 50 minutes. And then in orange, you have the connection from Lisbon to Madrid that is supposed to start on 2030 until 2034. So those are the 3, let's say, big high-speed projects that we have from today to 2034. Álvaro, can you please jump to the next slide? So regarding the first one, high-speed from Lisbon to Porto, the first project. The first project is divided in 3 phases, and we will have an extension of 336 kilometers. It's a PPP. All those 3 phases will be launched in PPPs. The phase 1 is divided in 2 PPPs, PPP1 and PPP2. The PPP1 has already been awarded to Avan Consortium. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So this line will be articulated with our conventional network, and we will use and adapt some existing stations. The project speed for this is 300 kilometers per hour, double track in Iberian gauge. And it's supposed to transport 10 million passengers per year with 60 daily services between high-speed and hybrid conventional network services. So, as you can see on the calendar, the phase 1, the PPP1 from phase 1 has already been awarded, and now we are in the phase of project and construction. We'll detail that a little bit. The other PPP2 from phase 1 will be tendered for end of this month, beginning of June. So, and the consortium that has been awarded for the first one, we will of course bid for the second PPP number 2, and then you have the phase 2 that will connect Sor to Carregado, and it's supposed the studies are already being done, and the tender phase will start in 2026. So these are the main dates for that. So regarding PPP1, again, this is the one that has already been awarded to Avan, and to give you a brief detail, so it's comprehends 71 kilometers. It has 11.6 kilometers of tunnels, 9.5 kilometers of bridges, and 2.8 kilometers of viaducts. We have an important bridge over the Douro River. Douro River is the river that goes in Porto. And also 2 stations, one in the center of Porto and the other one in the city on the other margin of the river in Gaia. Well, we also have a station. And then we also have the connection for this line to the conventional network, so that it will allow that when we are still building the other phases, it will allow for the conventional network to use also this network in 2030 when this will be ready. Álvaro, can you jump to the next, please? Okay, so this is the concession scope is the design, project, construction, financing, maintenance, and availability of the rail infrastructure from Porto to Aveiro again. The grantor is Infraestruturas Portugal, we call it IP. It's a public-owned company, Portuguese public company, so it's the grantor. The financial close, we're working on it. It's very close to the end, and we will finish it in this quarter. We will detail a little bit this later. So the estimated investment is 2.6 billion euros and includes, of course, funding from the European Union, directly from the grantor, and the other around 2.1 billion will be funded by Avant. The period of concession is 30 years, 5 years of development, and the development comprehends the project and the construction, and then 25 years of availability. And the remuneration scheme is per availability and not per traffic. So can you jump to the next slide, please, Over? So the winning consortium. So as I told you, this first PPP one from phase one was awarded in October 2024, and it was awarded to the consortium that are the shareholders of Avant. And the consortium is Mota-Engil, that I presented you a little bit. Teixeira Duarte, also a construction company in Portugal. Alves Ribeiro, also a construction company. Condoril, Casais, Gabriel Couto. All the first 6 are construction companies. And then we have Serena. Serena is an investment fund, a Spanish investment fund that is also a shareholder in the concessionaire of Avant. So the next steps, we have now to submit all the qualification documents because this was awarded in October, but then this consortium, Avant, with the support of the shareholders, will have to submit all the documents that are necessary to sign the contract. And those documents includes a lot of contracts, but mainly it's the financial close documents they we have to present. And to be more detailed, we will present all these documents on the 21st of May, so in 2 weeks, more or less. 21st of May. Then the grantor has a period of time to analyze and approve all the documents that we are going to submit. And if everything is okay, which we think it is, we will sign it in the beginning of July. We will sign the contract, and then immediately it will enter in force of the contract, and the 30 years will start on the next day of the signing of the contract. So this is basically the main lines for the project. And now I will ask my colleague Alvar to jump in and tell you a little bit more with detail what is Avant and how are we organized. Thank you, Alvar.
Hello. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for the invitation and for the opportunity to be here and to present this project to you all. So, looking at the contractual structure of this PPP1 that will connect Porto to Aveiro to Oiã. So it's a public-private partnership, and it's structured around a concessionaire, which is Avant, the company we are here representing, and we have as a grantor the infrastructure manager of Portugal, which is IP, Infraestruturas de Portugal. This is the first high-speed project in Portugal, and the decision of IP of using this model of a PPP was in a way justified by the willingness to guarantee that we can do this in such a short period, because it's very demanding in terms of schedule, as you will see after. And this was the main justification for this structure. The Avant as concessionaire will have 3 different entities that will be responsible for 3 important stages of the project. We will have one EPC company, the construction contractor, that will be responsible for all the construction contract, the 2.2 billion construction in the 5 years period. This company will responsible for the designing the technical solution for the line and for the construction during the 5 years, and will interact with a second company that will deal with expropriation issues of the line. We will have important situations where we will pass the line through the city of Gaia and part of the city of Porto with an important volume of expropriations, and this is a specific vehicle to deal with this situation. And then we have a third company will be the company responsible for operation and maintenance of the line during the 25 years after the construction. As Eduardo mentioned, this is an availability scheme, so will be paid based on availability KPIs defined by the infra manager. It's important to say that we will not be responsible for telecommunication and signaling contract. This will be an additional contract that will be managed directly by the infrastructure manager, by IP. We will be responsible for all the remaining maintenance topics on the infrastructure during this 25 years. The three entities that I have spoken about, they will have direct contracts with the concessionaire, with Avan, and as a way to limit the responsibility and to facilitate the structure of the project finance scheme, each one will be responsible and will be assuming directly the risks of each one of these areas of expertise. Looking now at the schedule and the most important dates that we have. So, as Eduardo mentioned, we are now reaching the end of the negotiation with the financial institutions, and we expect to close the contracts and to finally have the structured group of entities defined and all the documentation closed in the 21st of May. Then we'll have a short period of administrative verifications, and our mostly by IP and by the Portuguese government, and we expect to sign the contract and formally be the concessionaire of this first branch of the line in the beginning of July. Also, I would like to point out one topic, quite important topic, is we already have a contract awarded, so it was already decided by IP and by the Portuguese government that Avan will be the entity responsible for developing this 70 kilometers of the line, but because there are some steps before the signature of the contract that are necessary, namely to the financial close, but also the constitution of several entities and some more bureaucratic steps. That's why we are the contract was awarded, but is not yet signed, okay? And will be signed in July. Meanwhile, we are already working on the design, because this is a very tight schedule. We have 5 years to be the line constructed and certified, which is very, very demanding. And so we are already working in the design of the line since some months ago, in order to anticipate a little bit the time to start the construction. before starting construction, we will face also we have some approvals, some important approvals. One is we already have, it was already done an environmental assessment study 2 years ago by the infrastructure manager, by IP, but now we have to confirm that our design is according to the principles and included in the environmental assessment study. So we have to do this confirmation that in Portugal is called the recap. Also, a second approval will be necessary by the infra manager, by IP, that will have to approve the preliminary designs of the 2 stations and of the Douro Bridge. So we have also to have this approval by IP. After those approvals are met, we can start the construction phase, and we expect to start in the beginning of next year, and we'll have until the middle of 2030 to finish the construction and to start the operation and management period. This period will last 25 years, starting from this July 2030. This is the end of my presentation, and now I'll ask you if you have some questions.
So thank you, a big thank you to Eduard and Álvaro for that great presentation on the existing high-speed rail projects planned for Portugal. So let's now open the floor for questions and kick off the Q&A session. So we are looking forward to hear from you. I will start reading the first one. So regarding Lisbon or Porto project, the technical challenges, so in terms of terrain, tunneling, integration with existing infrastructure, can you outline the key phases in the project timeline and expected milestones in terms of construction, testing, and operations? I think this question should go to Eduard, I think.
So regarding the, let's say, from a technical point of view, the consortium in terms of engineering and with the experience that we have had in other international projects and even here in Portugal, well, I think from a technical point of view, there are some challenges, of course. We have the tunnels, and the tunnels are going to cross some areas that may found some archaeological issues. So that's a risk that we have to count in. And of course, bridges is not an issue. The bridge is a medium bridge over the river, the Douro River. We've done thousands of bridges like this all over the world and with our projects. I think from an environmental point of view, as Álvaro told us, the IP, when the tender was launched, there was already a study for environmental and impacts for this project. So what we have to do is to design a project that goes accordingly to the environmental project approved. Tunnels are tunnels. I mean, to be honest, I think with the consortium that we have, and as you can see, the 6 of the shareholders are construction companies, international construction companies, but also in Portugal. We know the ground, we know the suppliers. Well, of course, all construction projects have challenges, and it would be silly for me to say that they don't have. But I think we have a very experienced and from an engineering point of view, very competitive consortium. So I don't know. I think, I mean, like I told you, every construction project has challenges. This one is has no special challenges, let's say. Of course, it has tunnels, it has bridges, but they are not huge bridges. It's not very complicated tunnels. So I think we'll deal it very well with that. To be honest, it's much more difficult to do a train line in Nigeria from Kano to Maradi than in our, let's say, in our country, where we know a lot because we are here for 70, 80 years. So I don't know if I answered the question. I hope so.
No, thank you, Eduard, very much. So I will follow to the next question, and it's somehow regarding investment money. So perhaps then I'm not sure it will be addressed to Eduard or to Eduard, then you choose. So okay. Considering the project investment request commented, has Avan already an initial idea about equity?
About
contribution
equity?
From partners and the future debt required.
Yes, sure, of course. We have, yes, of course, the shareholders will provide the equity, and we already have the financial consortium practically closed. We are just dealing with the documents that we have to present on the 21st of May. Mainly, we have institutional lenders like MetLife, Manulife, Natixis, MEAG, Deutsche Bank. Then we have a lot of banks like BBVA, Portuguese banks like Caixa, again Natixis as a bank. So to answer that, well, from a financial point of view, there are no issues. Of course, it wasn't easy because those things are never easy. And immediately after we were awarded in October, we started to talk, of course, with our potential financial partners. And now we finally got to the final steps of that. As I told you, once again, on the 21st of May, we'll have everything closed with a part of the equity guaranteed by the shareholders and with the financial institute. And of course, there is an important thing, I'm sorry. The European Bank is going to participate with 850 million euros. So the total of financing needed for the project is around 2.1 billion, and the European Bank is going to provide 850 millions of funding, and the rest is the banks that I've told you. So, and of course, the shareholders will have their share of equity also in the project.
Okay, thank you, Eduard. So I will go now to a question that is more technical. So it's a company in Austria based that have technology that integrates LIDAR, GNSS, IMU, and cameras and mounted on rail vehicles and trolleys. So they can also support construction monitoring in new technologies. So it will be interesting to know, this is the question, if there is any opportunities for collaboration, and if so, whom will contact to explore this further?
Alvaro, you want to get this one?
Sure. This is one of the easy ones because it's the sure. Yes, this is the first I have to say that to have a better and more direct answer, I would have to know better what is the exact product and what are we speaking. But generally speaking, this is the exact time to speak with us, because if this is a technology that it can be used during the construction phase, we are now in the design, so it's the time to incorporate those solutions and those technologies in the design process into for the construction phase. For operation, we have a bit more of time. We'll start with the maintenance of the line in 5 years, but obviously it will be very interesting to know in advance the solutions that companies have and what we can benefit from them. So I would say that you could speak with us, can speak directly with me. I think our contacts will be available for you. Send me an email, and I will be very happy to schedule a meeting to know the companies, to know the projects, and to see if we can find some type of common ground for collaboration with you.
May I add something on this just to complete? So, because as you, I think you understood from our presentation, we are the concessionaire, but we have three main, let's say, companies that will work with us: an EPC contractor, a maintenance company that will do the maintenance after 2030, and an expropriate company. So what we can do is to make the contacts between you. And imagine that you want something from maintenance, we will put you in contact with a team for maintenance. That will also be Alvar. If you want something with the EPC contractor, then we will put you directly in contact with the general manager that we talk to him every day. It's Carlos Martins. We talk with him every day, and so we can put you directly in contact with the right persons. And of course, if it's something for the concession, then you'll talk directly with me or with Alvar. So João, please confirm you will share our contacts at the end.
Yes.
So
yes.
then they'll have our emails. Please feel free to address us all the questions.
Thank you. One more question, please. Regarding designing of bridges and tunnels, is there already a team set for this?
Alvar, go ahead.
Yes, there is. We are already in the project phase. Yeah, I would say that regarding tunnels, depending on the specificity of the knowledge of what we are speaking, and there is some room for some consultancy services, because some very specific topics on tunnels could benefit from additional partnership with experienced companies on the topic. But also, and not to be very disencouraging, saying that we already have teams, I would also have would like to say that as Eduardo presented previously, this is the first of several branches that will be launched under PPP, and I can say with with high confidence that we will be also presenting our proposals for the next, for example, for Oiansoro branch, the second branch of that will be launched in end of this month. So even if the team for this first PPP is already working and is already chosen, there's for sure room for collaboration in this one, but for sure also in the second project that, if things go well, we'll start also in terms of design during the end of next year. So it's in short notice. So yes, there is space for collaboration. If not on this one, on the second one, for sure. For this one, if the company is very specialized, there are some specific topics on tunnels that we could benefit from some partnership, especially in terms of consultancy and design consultancy. So if this is the case, I would also challenge you to contact us, please.
Alvar, thank you. So I think the next question is already answered, because it's asking if Avan is planning to tender as well for the next PPPs, but I think
Sure.
it's sure.
For sure. And I think we have an advantage here because we already have been awarded the first 71 kilometers. So of course we have a synergy that will allow us to be very competitive on the second one. Let's see how it goes, but I think we have here a very strong synergy with because we have been already awarded for the first one, so we will have all these synergies between those, at least the second one that is going to be launched, like Alvar said, end of this month, beginning of June.
Okay, and I think this one is already also answered. Has the Signalink scope been awarded already? If yes, which company has been awarded? Or, well, if you could help me with this, please.
Alvar, go ahead.
Yeah, no. IP, I think that their idea is to launch this tender during the second half of the year, because after the launching the second phase of the PPP that we were mentioning before. So it will be launched during the second half, and obviously there's no partner chosen for that yet.
Okay, thank you. The next question, it's, I think, regarding rolling stock. I think it's, well, not quite the case in this webinar, but I will ask you anyway. It's a company that has a lot of experience in welding robots, and they also produce trains for high-speed lines. And they ask if who is awarded or who is or parts of the production trains will be locally in Portugal produced. I think this I will. So, Alvar, please.
Okay, so no, there's no. First, our contract, our PPP, is for the infrastructure and for the availability of the infrastructure. So we won't be RUs, railway undertakings. We won't be responsible for train operations at all. What we know is, because this is the first high-speed line in Portugal, and for sure after the line will come the trains. What I know is that the Portuguese public company CP is announcing publicly that wants to buy a specific rolling stock for this high-speed line. This is the first potential player to address, and the second potential is also a Portuguese company that already has experience in passenger trains in the Lisbon area, in suburban trains in the Lisbon area, that also announced publicly that wants to certify as a railway undertaking for passengers and to operate on this high-speed line. There's also some information regarding the normal players, let's say the Renfe and CF, both have publicly said that this could be, especially Renfe, said that it could be an opportunity, but there's no information of public of tenders for the acquisition of trains. The one that is most advanced is the CP1, the Portuguese CP1. I think is waiting for the governmental approval to launch the tender to buy the first units. I don't know how many. I cannot precise how many units they want to buy in this first stage.
Just an interesting information. I'm sorry, João, because I think this is important also to say. I mean, Motengil was the first private operator in railways for not passengers, merchandise. We launched the company in 2007 as I remember, called Tacargo, and we were the first private operator, and we were really an operator. I was in the beginning linked to that project, and also Álvaro has worked on that he was the CEO for the company, and for the last 6 or 7 years, and we sold that company 2 or 3 years ago to the Captrain, that is part of SNCF, the French operator. But we had a lot of experience with operating, not in passengers, not in high-speed trains, but with merchandise. We were the first private Portuguese operator that did trains from, and we did in Portugal and Spain a lot of trains. So it is also, we had this experience also with the operation of trains. And
Okay.
Álvaro was the CEO for that company for a long time.
Thank you. So now I will switch to, so are there any places where installed geohazard protections, such as rockfall, fences, slope stabilization? So geohazard studies has been conducted.
To me, probably. Yes, yes, there are. And again, this is a topic where some direct discussion with the EPC company could be beneficial. I cannot precise what have already they done on this very specific topic or not. Obviously, looking at the profile of the line, that this is something that will be in use and will be necessary. So again, my answer is contact us and we'll put you in touch with the EPC company to clarify in what stage are we of this. I would say that it's still good time for discussion.
Thank you. So this one, I think it's already answered. If you are responsible for deliver telecommunications and signaling infrastructure, no, they will not be. They will be the EP Infraestruturas de Portugal that is organizing this tender and these procedures. Now it's somehow related to this one. Noise barriers, acoustic walls. Is there any specific design planner responsible? Who to contact?
More or less the same. First, just one comment on the IP, the signaling and telecommunication project. It's not the scope of our contract, but again, if you need any contact with IP on the right people inside the company that are working on this, and most likely they could benefit also from knowing new companies and new solutions, we could also help. It will be a pleasure, no problem on that. And then the second question on acoustic barriers, it's more or less the same answer. Yes, it will be an important topic. It will be necessary. I'm not really aware of the specificity of the design. I think most likely some of this is not yet close. Some of the elements, and it's now a good time to contact us, and we can put you in contact with the designers that are working specifically with these topics. Also, because we still didn't close the final recap, so the final environmental assessment process. For sure, this can still change a little bit depending on the recommendations and what comes out of the final pronunciation from the environmental assessments. So most likely, this is still an open topic and one that we can also put you in contact with the right person inside the EPC to discuss it.
Okay, moving to the next one. As far as I know, the line already exists and this is only track being renewed at the time. I think it's not. It's a completely new track. Yes, okay.
Yes,
So
it's a completely new track.
New track is not being, okay. So because this company can support with ballast stabilization between the tracks. They already been doing that in Portugal. So, but it's not about rehabilitation, it's a new track with all the project.
Yes, what we have is it's a totally new line from Porto to Lisbon, high speed profiled 300 kilometers per hour, Iberian gauge. What we have is several connections to the current line, the conventional line that exists also, let's say, parallel to the high-speed line, also connecting Porto to Lisbon. There will be in this specific PPP1, we'll have one connection in Oiã, in Canelas, to connect to the Aveiro station. In the second PPP, there will be two additional connections and one quadruplication of a segment of the existing line between Porto and Lisbon. So we have a new project. The high-speed line is a new project, but there's some connections to the existing line, and even in some specific places, a duplication of the existing infrastructure in the conventional line that already exists.
Okay, thank you. So moving forward, this is a company that's specialized in sliding and folding doors. Is there any need of folding doors at the stops and or depots of the trains?
As far as I know, and in this stage of design, no. But eventually, I have to be very honest. I'm not 100% certain because things are always evolving. But as far as I know, from what I've already studied of the project, no.
Okay, thank you. So one, I think, last question. It's about geohazard mitigation again. So had someone did detailed studies? Is there any strategies to install geohazards protection, such as slope measures, rockfall protection? So it's somewhat, but if you could add something here, please.
I think it's the same question.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
the same answer. Yeah, it will be an important topic. It's currently the design. So I think it's now the time to know that specific company and to evaluate what is the potential.
And I think this is really the last one. So is in your scope to cover the passenger information systems?
No. Not
Passenger
on
passenger information systems will be in the project of the telecommunication and signaling, so it will be IP.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will only check if there is any more coming. I think not.
João, but if there is more questions, you can address us directly by email, and then we will try to answer. So, I mean, if there are some more questions, we can always answer by our email. So please feel free to do that.
Okay. So, but well, I don't find anyone, but I think this offer is the most nice one. I think we can summarize like if you have any interest in this project, you can go directly to Eduardo and to Álvaro. So this wrap ups this webinar. So a massive thank you to our speakers. So Eduardo and Álvaro, to their time and expertise and for making this topic so insightful. I would also want to address you. So next steps, as we have seen, the projects for high-speed rail in Portugal have a span horizon beyond 2030. So there are opportunities already, and Avan is mostly available to put you in touch directly with the Portuguese companies. So both for construction and maintenance phase. So As a follow-up to our webinar, so we are planning the next step with the business mission of Austrian companies to Portugal to be held in the first quarter 2026. We really appreciate you being here. For those who join us, please note that this webinar was recorded and will be shared the presentation, also the contact information for the featured companies, so very soon. So thank you all for being a part of this, and we will see you next time.